most of our beliefs and opinions come from the society we live in. And you've only got to go back 5,000, 10,000 years and see the barbaric things we did that we thought were morally sound and okay, to realize that, in fact, our opinions and beliefs are mainly given to us by society. In fact, good and bad, if you look at what we did 100 years ago, if you look at what happened in certain parts of the world in, history, those people thought they were good. And that was the right thing to do. And so what are my opinions today? The majority, what social media and the world has told me is the correct thing to do. How moral are we? If we felt completely moral when we used to behead people and kill black people and chase, we thought that was fine.
Go on crusades.
So yeah, it's a lot. Maybe a topic. Anyway, what was I in
Failure.
this book? Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Point number 2 of fail philosophy. I lost my way in this book. Just quickly. Yeah. Got the list here as well. So point number 2 in your book is you are not your anxious brain. I think you've talked about that.
Yes, that's
so
the
we'll move on.
Point.
Almost everything almost everyone feels they have failed in their 20s.
I mean, not you. Okay, so Stephen Bartlett, I'm pretty sure. Do you think you failed in your 20s? Probably personally. Sorry.
Multiple. No. It's a good question, actually. Multiple times, yeah. Started my first business at 18. It was clearly a failure. Left that when I was 20 years old. Failed in loads of relationships. Fail every day in business. Not the big, momentous failures, other than my business, that one would assert. But no, I failed. Probably more than anybody, to be fair.
I think that's so great to hear.
Yeah.
And also, I think that a lot of people struggle in their 20s, particularly in this day and age, because of the curse of comparison and because we live in a culture of curated perfection where you're constantly comparing yourself to your peers' filtered appearance on Instagram and the life that they seem to be living. So we're comparing our insides with everyone else's projection of their outsides.
Exactly, yeah.
And for many people, although I know not you, but for many people, it's the first time that they've come out of full-time education and come out of a system of exam and reward. Yeah. And there's no exam that you can sit to show that you're being a good grown-up. So you feel quite lost. Plus, piling on top of that, the pressure to find your passion, to make a career for yourself, but also to earn enough to pay your rent, living in house shares, just trying to make your way and trying to forge your identity in this day and age. It's just so hard to do all that at once. And then you're like, and I should be having a thriving personal life, and I should either be in a long-term relationship or having one-night stands and making Footloose and Fancy Free and drinking loads, and then at the weekend making vegan brownies because I got to watch what I eat and all of that sort of stuff. And it's exhausting. And so really what I wanted to say in that failure principle was that so many people come on podcasts and say that they feel they failed at their 20s. And I think a lot of us fall into the trap, and I did too, of believing that we had to have our life sorted out by then. And actually your 20s are a decade of transition, of discovering who you are, of grinding up the spices of life in your pestle and mortar. And the older you get, my experience has been the more you know yourself and the more you know what you want to do. And that's where success lies. I've had so many more opportunities after leaving my 20s behind in the rearview mirror.